Hi, this is Scott Taylor. I want to talk to you a little bit today about some of the things you can expect if you've recently been arrested for DUI. Now, this is one of the more stressful periods of your life, okay? And you're likely to be bombarded with attorneys who are sending you mail at your home who somehow discovered that you were arrested. They're not allowed to call, so you should not be receiving any phone calls. But if you talk to any attorney who is trying to create a sense of urgency or somehow make you feel that you have to make your decision right away, run away screaming from that attorney, okay? There is no rush to make any decisions right now. And I say that because it's been my experience through the years that when people make decisions under pressure, they tend to make bad decisions. So there is one deadline and one deadline only that you need to be aware of. And that is you have 10 days from the date of your arrest to request a DMV hearing. Now, certainly, if you know that you're going to be hiring an attorney and you feel comfortable making the decision within that 10 days, your attorney, to include myself or any other attorney, can and will make that phone call for you to the DMV. However, if you want to wait and really think about your decision, you can make the phone call yourself. Now, this is not the normal DMV phone number that you would call in San Luis Obispo. This is the DMV Safety Office. They're based in Oxnard, California. They cover a large region for any DUI offenses, to include San Luis Obispo County. Now, the number that you're going to need to call for the DMV Safety Office is 805-988-3050. Now, when you call them, the information they're going to need, they need 1, your driver's license. 2, they need to know the date of your arrest. 3, they need to know the arresting agency. Now, you were given 2 pieces of paper when you were arrested. One is a pink sheet that serves as your temporary driver's license. The other is a white sheet that says site release on it. And at the top of that site release sheet, it's going to tell you the arresting agency, whether that's California Highway Patrol or San Luis Obispo Police, Paso Robles Police, Pismo Beach Police, whoever it is going to let you know. Finally, they need to know if you want an in-person hearing or a telephonic hearing. It's been my experience there's really not much of a difference between the two. You're still going to be dealing with a clerk at the DMV. You're not going to be disadvantaged by talking on the telephone, is what I'm trying to say. A couple of things are going to happen when you request that DMV hearing. First of all, your right to drive will be extended until you have the hearing, which will likely be a couple months from your request. It will actually very likely be close to your first court date, which is also going to be a couple months from your arrest. The other thing is that once you request the hearing, the DMV is going to get you your discovery. Your discovery is all the police reports in your case. So it's all the evidence that the police have against you. So you can find out what your blood alcohol content was, you can find out why the police stopped you, you can find out how you did on the field sobriety test. You can get all this information just by requesting the DMV hearing. Now, I don't want you to come in with false hope for a DMV hearing. Understand, you're not dealing with a lawyer, you're not dealing with a judge, you're dealing with a clerk at the DMV that is very limited in nature. So the information they're looking for: 1, was there a valid reason to pull you over? 2, were you in fact driving? And 3, is there an objective reason to believe that you were driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or higher? Now, if you are unsuccessful at your DMV hearing, for a first-time DUI, you can expect a license suspension of 120 days. After 30 days, you can apply for a restricted license, but there are no guarantees. Now, for your first court date, what you can expect. First of all, it tells you need to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's not true. Court rarely starts on time, let alone at 8 o'clock in the morning. Courts are not even going to open their doors until 8:30. Okay, so this is something that by the time you get to the court date, that's finally when you probably need an attorney to come with you to represent you at your first court date. Okay, so your attorney should tell you to show up at 8:30, and either they can appear with you or they can appear for you on your behalf. Okay. One of the biggest questions that I get is, when we're talking about what to expect at court, people want to know, am I going to jail? Well, the minimum for a DUI offense in San Luis Obispo County is 48 hours. Okay, so understand that when you were arrested, that counts for 1 day. So best case scenario, you've got 1 more day to serve. The remainder of any jail time that you might be facing, we look at a lot of factors. For example, what was your blood alcohol content? How old are you? Are you under 21 or over 21? Was there a child in the car? Did you run from the cops? Did you refuse to submit to chemical testing? All of those can increase the jail time that you might be facing, but at a minimum, we're talking about 2 days in jail. You probably already served 1. Now, when I say jail, I don't mean that you're actually going to be locked up in the jail. That is a distinct possibility, but you can apply for the Sheriff's Alternative Sentencing Work Program. Okay? Now, I cannot guarantee you that you are going to be accepted into that program, but essentially what the program does, it allows you to serve your sentence without ever setting foot in the jail. So, for example, you can do electronic home detention, you can do community service. Any lawyer in San Luis Obispo County will be able to get you an application to the Alternative Work Program. But understand, there's no guarantee you will be accepted into that program. It's up to the discretion of the sheriff. For the remainder of what you're facing, you're going to have some alcohol education classes, whether that's 3, 6, 9, 18 months. Again, it depends on the severity of your offense. And you should expect to pay a fine. Typically for a first-time offense, it's a $2,425 fine. The other big question that people tend to have is, what are your fees? Now, I try to be transparent with people. I put my fees right on my website, so I have no problem saying them in this video. For a first-time DUI, the fee is $2,500. Okay? For a second-time DUI, it's $4,000. Now, I base my fees based off of how much work goes into a case, how much liability that I might assume by taking on a case. Okay? My fees, it's been my experience, are roughly comparable to the other attorneys in San Luis Obispo. But certainly beware of any firms that are trying to really slash prices, because chances are they're going to be the type of firm that tries to stack 9 or 10 DUIs in one morning, and really they deal in volume. So you're not going to get a whole lot of personal attention, and you're not going to get a whole lot of communication and explanation about what's going on in your case. This is one of those situations where oftentimes you get what you pay for. Now, I offer free consultations. I also have a military and a student discount. So when you're ready, feel free to give me a call for a free consultation. I'm happy to sit down with you and your family to explain the process, to explain what you're facing in terms of the court process, the DMV process, the alternative sentencing program, and answer any other questions you have. So for now, I hope this video was helpful. Relax, don't panic. Lots of very good people have been right where you are, and a DUI is not the end of the world. Okay? So when you're ready, I'd love to talk to you. Hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.